It was fuck you, man.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Mindless Show. I'm your host, McWizWam Dinkle, and this is Literature. Today I'm going to welcome my guests, like I usually do. First up we have number one, a new guest.
Yeah. Shit.
We also have a recurring guest for season 3, Schmidlab, who I think is probably going to be in every single episode.
Hey.
I noticed that while scheduling, I'm like, shit, he's in like every single episode, except for maybe like 5 of them. So get used to him.
Should like leave these on.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Alright, so it's actually, it is genuinely 30 degrees today. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. So literature.
Yeah. Topic. Count me out.
Topic, yeah. So we're going to talk about books.
That's you, right.
Going to talk about the evolution of, I guess, books into film, how literature's being perceived, like it's the classics versus modern day shits. So I think we'll start with that.
Modern day shit is correct.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? Yeah,
shit, like
modern day books are pretty lacking.
no one knows how to write anymore. It's a tragedy of this world.
Oh, we usually be
Yeah, well, I've got a relative who's a writer, and they cannot handle how shit writing is these days. I mean, they literally, when I looked at the website, they literally pinpointed every single thing that's wrong with the whole Twilight saga from a literature perspective.
That would be hilarious.
Disgusting. It is. Oh, sorry, cracking neck. Yeah. So there's new shit like Twilight compared to old shit, like which is the good shit.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is one thing, yes. What's other good old literature? Doesn't just have to be fantasy.
I mean,
the man who made children.
The man who loved children.
Like those poor lady.
Man who loved children.
Man, I'll send you the image if you need that. Put it on the screen.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
the people who are watching who don't know anything about our literature class will have no idea what the fuck.
Will we
we're
ever
about.
be on?
But yeah,
The
the majority of the audience will have no idea what the fuck's going on.
No, let's.
Other than that, we have heavy shit like this. This is the
It's not a brick.
new annotated Sherlock Holmes.
Show them that it's actually got books and they're not bricks.
It actually has books in there.
Yeah.
As you can see,
It looks like
it's the first 2 volumes, which
Is there more than 2, or is that like...
there are 3 volumes. The 3rd volume has all the novels. This has all the short stories. So it's got the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, Memoirs, Return, His Last Bow, and the Casebook. What I love is stuff like this. This cost me on sale about $100.
Yeah, no, that's
Aussie
like
dollars.
2 big books.
Yeah. And the amount of detail, I mean, like, a lot of old books are really well treated nowadays. Like, there's a bookstore down at a certain shopping centre nearby us that...
Wait, you don't mean Beep Beep, you know, the one up there.
The one up there.
The what? Oh, what? Wait, which way's north?
You're talking bookshops, right?
I'm wondering
Yeah.
which way is
The bookshop in particular, it's actually designed like a very old bookstore, and that's one of the things
Wait,
I love
Robinson's?
about it. Yes.
Oh,
That's
fair
what it
enough.
is, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Because there's that
You
thing,
can
like,
edit it.
Yeah.
well, you can also, I guess you can talk about like
Julia can
like,
edit it.
how bookstores are presented.
Didn't he get deported?
What? Julia.
Julia.
Not
I mean, the other Trump's...
No, because he's still working.
yet. No. But like when you guys go to a bookstore, what do you look for? Do you guys go to bookstores?
Well, I mean,
You
for
know,
me,
do you
that's
buy
like...
do you
No.
buy books online?
No.
Do you even read?
Actually, no, wait. The
Last time I
most
read
recent book I bought, actually the most recent book I got, I found in like the staff room, like in the bottom of a cardboard box. It was shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is I think it was there actually.
I was there.
But it was Frank Herbert actually, and I didn't purchase it, I just found it, and it was, you know, Frank Herbert, you know, the guy who worked on Dune, you know, literary master to some people. I read the book and it was just, you know, kind of shit. Just kind of like disappointing. But other than that, you know, bookstores, like when I walk into one, I just sort of go to the fiction section and like skip, you know, because like the bookstores I commonly go to is like there's this one up. It's up down near a certain place, which I'll probably tell you about later. But basically, it's just shelves full of books, and there's like a guy who's literally surrounded by books and is nearly drowning in books because he has one store full of books, one like back area full of books, and then one warehouse full of books.
Jesus.
So it's kind of scary.
I think the last...
Please help me.
The last...
It's probably scary if the guy's actually read all those books.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
But yeah, like when I walk into that kind of place, for example, I would just go straight up the back to where there's all the fantasy and all the science fiction. Yeah.
The last bookshop, quote unquote, I went to, I think, was a second-hand book sale when we were staying in Port Fairy. They had a second-hand book sale, and I was walking around. I was like, "Oh, let's have a look." And I bought a bunch of books, and I've read none of them, which I should do because I should start reading.
Yeah, I used to do that a couple of years back. We went to second-hand bookstores, and I used to buy a lot of books. Never read one of them, and I really hate that. I think for me, with a lot of things, especially books, it's more of the idea of owning them and the idea of like I can say that I have this book, but I can't say that I've read it. I can say I know that it's a good book from reviews and from what people have told me, but I can't say that I think it's a good book personally because I haven't read it. Like that's the one problem with the Sherlock Holmes book because I got this Christmas of 2015.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
Read more of it than you. I mean, number one's read more of it than you have.
yeah, he literally picked up this morning. So the thing, like, I haven't actually touched this book properly. Like, I've
You see that she's been married already.
I've looked through it.
Too much shabby reading.
I've looked through it just at certain points just to check out what it's like because it's actually it's
they're only using up half the paper, bloody hell.
it's designed to a certain level where in the center of the book you have the story, which usually contains images, whereas on the sides you have annotations. So you have literally numbers to certain sentences and paragraphs, and it explains, the annotations explain the book, so you can actually understand it more, you can understand the time period, you can understand the characters.
I don't know what to do.
It's literally gone to that level. Like this is how some people treat old literature.
Well, it's always doing that. Like annotations are good because when you have old books like that, they have language that doesn't translate well, and you need something to explain it.
Yeah, it's like with Shakespearean plays and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of stuff. I remember like we did that in English a couple of years ago, and this is one of the things I complained about in. We had a meeting with our principal, and things to suggest better things for the students for later years. And my biggest complaint was how lame and boring and how crap the books were that we had to read for English. The only books I ever actually appreciated were the ones we read during literature. And what was that? We had
Wait.
But maybe that helps because you have a teacher who appreciates the
yes,
books.
we also had a teacher who
I
appreciated
think that's a
books,
huge part of it.
Yeah, but there was so many books there that we read, and they weren't all just novels. We had novels, we had a collection of short stories, we had poetry. What was the poetry by Seamus Heaney? The short story collection was by Kay Kennedy. We had
KK.
Manual of... What did I say?
Kay Kennedy.
Yeah,
KK.
It's Kay
Maybe there's one more K there.
It's a C. The K starts with a C, not a K. Anyway, who was the other person? We had Manual of Children by Christina Stead. Duane of Gerald Electric Sheep, which we've all ridiculed that one for its bad writing. Philip K. Dick, legendary book.
I did that as well.
It's a philosophy book, not a literature book.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it is actually. It's way better for a philosophy class.
I just want to show the audience what this actually
Look, there's words inside.
Oh, look, copyright, DMCA.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Annotations on the side and whatnot, yeah.
Can you get content ID for that? They have like...
No, they just scan every page in and send it to YouTube.
They check the tags anyways.
But yeah, it's that interesting factor of you've got the old shit, which is so... I always say things as shit. It's all good stuff, except for the modern day
You
shit.
just say shit means stuff. Shit now means stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much... I refer to shit as stuff, not as bad stuff, unless I call it shit.
Wait, the whole camera...
The shittiest shit is shit. The whole camera just what?
I thought it was slanted for a second.
No. It looks that way, but actually...
You need one of those little levels that they use for
It actually
freaking
it has a digital level.
Or you could stick one of the
That's how I know it's
buttons
level,
in
because it
front
has a
of the
digital level.
Get a book for each.
Maybe it's just the whole house is slated. Sorry.
Actually, it kind of is. I think we're on a hill. So, what's your favorite number one? What's your favorite book? Or at least the book.
What's your number one favorite book?
Or at least the best, the most memorable book you've ever read.
Get it yourself. That's hard. I've read Shawshank Redemption. That was good. Like, that's a long time. Yeah, I saw it. I was in the library and I saw it. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Stephen King.
Oh, didn't it get turned into a film?
Yeah, it did. Good movie. Yeah, I saw it in the library and I read it and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. It was very good. And then I was like, oh, it's a movie as well. Wow.
I never knew it was actually cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting how a lot of books like that have more of a reputation as a film sometimes than they do as a book. Like with Androids, it's got a bigger reputation. It's hard to say what it's got a bigger reputation as a book or as a film.
Bad book. You can say they're completely split.
Bad book or bad film,
a different name.
Because the thing is, the film is Blade Runner, and Blade Runner is one of the best sci-fi films of all time. But the thing is, a lot of people consider Dwayne's Dream to be one of the best sci-fi books of all time, mainly because, and not because of the aspect of like, oh, it's Ryan's plot. We've in Sci-Fi vs. Reality we've discussed why it's bad, but like, it's the concepts and the ideas that bring it to life. Like, with a lot of Philip K. Dick's novels, it's usually the ideas and the philosophies behind it that actually bring it to life.
Yeah, that's it really. But if you're just looking at it as a book,
yeah,
there's not that much to actually look for in there.
That's the thing with Christine Said's The Man Who Loved Children. It's one of those books where you have to understand the author. Well, you don't have to, but it's usually best to understand the author's views and values to actually be able to read the book and to like it, because it's a very annoying book to read. Knowing from not just my experience, but everyone else's experience from the class. We even was in class. We watched a book. There was a book readers club that watched it, that read it, and they hated it.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch
but
it.
But it's just one of those. It's just one of those books where you can enjoy it for the mastery of how it's written, and it is a beautifully written novel. But it's just one of those. It's one of those things. I have it here.
Actually,
yeah, he's got a bunch.
Oh wait, you got that cover, okay.
I have the very old cover. This is literally
the one with the weird artwork.
The weird as shit artwork. Yeah. I've also got Androids up here. The Man Who Loved Children.
You're like,
it's.
I think you took that.
Yeah, it's very weird cover art.
This
is actually a very old version of it too. My dad had this when he was in year 11, and when he was doing literature in year 11, and that was.
Aren't your copies like massive?
Because
it's smaller print or what?
Yeah,
it's smaller print. My pages are bigger, and I've got the introduction by some random American.
I can't even remember when my dad was in high school. He's 50 odd now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Jeez, that was a while ago.
Yeah. It's a very old version of it.
Wait, which video up to?
Just random shit.
What the hell? Oh, that's the code.
The code.
Because like Louis the Ubermensch.
Yeah, because there's all the Nietzschean philosophies and Marxist ideas behind it. There's a lot of shit in this book, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic how a lot of stuff is interweaved, unlike modern day books.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
what does that mean? Is it a dream? Sorry.
You had to do that.
I gotta do a reading.
You need to just sort of walk away and leave the camera running. We'll just like grab the Sherlock Holmes and can start reading.
Yeah. What about you, Schmidlab? What's your favorite novel book thingy?
I mean, from not just a literary standpoint, from my personal standpoint, it's got to be, what is it? Raymond E. Feist. Yeah, Raymond E. Feist. He wrote a book called Magician, and I read that when I was in year 7. It was particularly like it really connected with me as a novel because it's like it's a nice detailed fantasy world. It's got new ideas in it. It's not just old stuff, and it was actually like thoroughly enjoyable. Got pretty crazy in the second or third book, but it's thoroughly enjoyable books.
Or it's like a series.
Like multiple books.
That's another thing, isn't it? Like how everything that's usually made these days on the force of media has to have like sequel to it. I mean, look, even this show is on its 3rd season now. But we're doing it, like, we don't get paid for this shit. But like, unlike what usually people do for...
What? What the fuck?
We offer books and films, like that's what they do.
I'm just gonna pretend that was a joke. Yeah.
Just
nice banter on the show,
on
the Mindless show, which we get paid on.
Terribly, yeah. But yeah, it's just that idea of like those things that usually like critical hits and whatever that get big money for their releases. The publishers or developers, whatever, you know, whether it's a film or a novel, they always want more because they want more money out of it. And that's sometimes a problem because it doesn't usually get better. I don't know. There's a lot of things like that. Sometimes they can be good. Like the Lord of the Rings trilogy is really good.
Well, yeah, but no, that was written as one book.
But that's the thing. It's because it was written. It also had that thing of it was written as one book and cut into three.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Hobbit trilogy of films.
Yeah.
And you just realize how much of a disaster that was. Yeah.
And the Lord of the Rings movies, any good?
Lord of the Rings
they're pretty
is
great.
fantastic. Yeah.
And just Peter Jackson is hiding his work.
Some people don't. I've heard some people think that it's not what they'd call it, the original vision of the novels.
They changed a couple of things, but ultimately it's mostly because they had a sort of theme they were going for, and there's certain characters they took out who were a lot more funny than serious, and I think that would have broken the whole film. Having all these serious scenes and adding these weird characters, Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, it's interesting how they've developed that. I've got they're even such a big film that they've even got extended editions for each film, and I have the extended editions for all the Lord of the Rings trilogies for all the Lord of the Rings films, and they're fantastic. I don't have the Hobbit ones because I don't want to waste my money on that shit.
I mean, the thing with the Hobbit ones is there's a hell of a lot of removed scenes from the theatrical cut. There's so many
and I don't need
scenes
more
that were removed.
scene.
I mean, I like those bits.
I like the first one. I didn't like the rest.
The
only parts of the rest I liked were pretty much with the dragon.
It's
legitimately the only thing about the rest that I liked. And yet the third film kills the dragon at the start, which of course you'd expect, because they have to have the battle. And yet, I got bored. Got bored halfway through, in the first half an hour of that film. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little different for me because that's a book I read when I was a kid, so
I've never properly read the actual trilogy. I mean, it's like the Harry Potter books. I've never properly read them before.
Well, yeah, that's
I did.
I've read five of the seven.
I think my dad...
I haven't read the first of the seven, but I've read all the ones in between.
my dad read them to me as a kid, and I reread a couple of them over the years, but mostly just watched the films. But it's interesting how a lot of them have adapted, how literature itself has gone from classic, now classic novels, like stuff by Charles Dickens and whatnot, and Sherlock Holmes even, and have progressed from short strips in a paper to actual paper-bound or, bound books.
Yes.
And they've even evolved to the level of they're either becoming films or have some kind of film, television adaptation. Comic books even, with graphic novels.
Oh, yeah, but I guess so.
And even video games and other media, but that's not for literature. That's not for today's topic.
I don't think any of this is for today's.
I don't know, you can look at literature in many ways.
It's such an open-ended thing. You can look at it as literature is in the physical product is in book stuff. Or you can look at it as, hey, the words on the page and all the techniques and that.
Yeah, you can look at newspaper articles as literature.
For one thing I know.
I count pretty much a lot of media as literature. I even count films because a film in its own right is a text.
I think because you write a script, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things that, there are some things which you wouldn't call a book or a novel, like a play, for example. Some things are strictly limited to what they're actually called. But the thing is, it's still literature.
Yeah, play's definitely literature because we read that for our literature class.
Yeah. Which play did we read? Pygmalion, yeah.
Come on, man.
I remember exactly 5 minutes ago. I can't remember.
We need an auto cue.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how it evolves.
Austin never decided.
Are there any particular, I don't know, fantastic things about literature that stand out to you at all?
Fantastic things like...
Fantastic Four.
Oh!
How they make literature from something good to something bad.
I mean, was it really good in the first place?
Fantastic Four, the comics are pretty good, actually. I mean, it's surprising. I mean, for one thing, it is comics, which I have nothing against comics. I love comics, but it's just interesting how fucked up how fucked up comics are.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are quite good. But that's the kind of quirk about them. That's the thing that makes them so good because they're completely unlike our reality. And that's another thing with literature, how you can read or watch text and be so immersed into it that you wish that world was your own. And there's reasons why I love audiobooks, and not really audiobooks in particular, but books themselves. I just want to mention audiobooks because they exist
for a free trial.
Can we get this sponsored?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But
I mean, we're going to get paid somehow. So it's just
that's cool. But it's just interesting how my favorite thing, Jesus Christ, my favorite thing with literature is how you can, especially with books, how you immerse yourself into them. Like comic books and picture books, I find it a bit easy because but to a level you still have to immerse yourself in how these characters are acting, and you got to immerse yourself into their worlds. And luckily, it's both visually being presented to you and through words, through dialogue, narrated in cues and whatever.
It's such a kid sounding word. It sounds so childish. Picture books.
That's the thing. That's what comic books are. They're picture books.
Are they even books though? Because some of them
are
magazine
pictures. Like you don't.
Actually,
it's not anime. It's always mine because it's the good stuff.
If we were talking about this, I could have brought all my JoJo's here.
Wait till the comics episode, Jesus.
Wait, there is a comic. I thought there was already a comics episode.
There's another comics episode. It's called Comic Second.
Stay tuned.
It's Comic Second.
I won.
It's
cool.
You'll be there.
Will I?
Wednesday.
Oh
Yeah.
Wait, Wednesday.
Anyway, yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
What day is it today?
Monday.
It's Monday.
How many grams of resin did you eat this morning?
How many grams of resin?
Resin.
Of it.
As in marijuana resin, as in like the good shit.
But yeah, that's
The good shit.
like what? I don't
Hemp.
even.
That's a good thing to print books on.
Okay.
Free hemp.
Why? So when you do book burning, you can get high.
No, because it's a stronger and it's a more sustainable material than any ordinary.
Why would you book burn?
ordinary
Why would you
paper.
book burn? Why would you burn books? That's so not natural. Who burns books? It's really wrong.
We would eat them. You can eat paper just fine.
Because ideas are dangerous.
Knowledge is not power. Sorry.
But yeah,
Continue on.
well, yeah, it's. What do you guys think of when you read a book? What's your like the? Do you have a desired effect that you expect to get from a book?
I expect her to be not shit nowadays.
Good luck with that.
Because I like the most recent. I started reading like 3 books recently, and I've put down 2 of them because. God damn.
He has a bike in the hallway, so whenever he goes into the inside to get a drink or eat something, she sees the bike and goes fucking bananas.
Yes,
That's true. She's good nuts.
She has not today.
You heard nothing.
You know nothing.
You just put that in his
Yeah, it is that kind of thing where it's like you want it to be good.
Yeah, you definitely want it to be good these days.
And I think
in this day
that's-
and age. Whew.
But it's also interesting how.
Well, wouldn't you always want it to be good, and it's just.
But that's the thing.
Or is it just now you know what makes it good?
Now people assume most books are like shit, and they're just there to
But
make money.
I find that there's 2 ways that a form of literature can be good. Either A, it's good for its like original content and how it's written and all kinds of stuff, but like it's how it is as a book and how it is as a story. But it's also the extra thing of like I was reading The Martian last year, and I love the book, I love the film.
Good movie.
It's a fantastic movie. It's a great adaptation. I think there are very limited adaptations that I think of books into films. Like The Book Thief is one of my favorite books and one of my favorite adaptations. It's also probably my favorite historical fiction. But it's also that it's the idea of like a lot of forms of literature like are really really good for the idea that they pull on references to other forms of literature. Like for example, Rick and Morty. In itself, as a TV show,
It's all right.
it pretty much the whole entire show is just references, but they just happen to have their own episode. It happens to be its own show. There are a lot of references I don't even catch because of how old they are. Like the amount of detail for these references that there actually are. Some of them are extraordinarily obscure. Like The Martian is a fantastic book in its own right, and it has great science, it has all kinds of great shit, but at the same time it also has references to other things. It references other TV shows, it references music, but it uses that for its comedy factor. Because you kind of gotta, sometimes you gotta have, mixed genres. You can't just have strict drama or strict sci-fi, you have to have a mixed drama, which I'm totally okay with. But it's just interesting how they do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else? What else is there? Can we read some Shelco?
Do you want me to do a reading?
I mean, I don't know.
Get number one to do a dramatic rating.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or just
I have to. I mean, you have to increase my hourly rate, but I'll do it. Actually, you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I just realised another book that I enjoyed when I read it is Digital Fortress by Dan Brown.
Dan Brown, never heard of him.
The guy who wrote Da Vinci Code and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Da Vinci Code. Isn't Da Vinci Code like competent? Like, isn't it decent?
I don't know. I've heard people bash on Dan Brown and his writing because they think it's terrible. But when I read Digital Fortress, I was like, it's good, right? It's a good book. It had a good story. So I don't know.
But that doesn't mean it was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Harry Potter.
Well, I mean, look,
Well, I don't know whether literature, like whether it has enough assonance or not. But
No,
it's
it's
a
not
good
just that.
story.
It's not just that. But, you've got to know that the author's paying attention to what words they're using. If they don't care what words they're using, then they're not a good writer.
I want to go kick in the face. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah, do a dramatic rating.
Off camera reading. Well, yeah, I don't know, because I remember I was watching a comedy, I think it was a comedy thing, and some guy was like, some guy gave me some advice on how to write a book, and so I sort of, I don't know, he took this advice, and he's like, I just wrote the next Dan Brown novel.
Wait, sure.
He's saying this shit. And I was just,
Okay.
it was just, that was stuff I read, just watching, I'm just like, what are you trying to say? It was actually decent. I don't know, I was reading all over the place. We need that as some backing music. Coarse writing, murmured Holmes. Surely this is not your husband's writing, madam. No, but the enclosure is. I perceive also that whoever addressed this envelope had to go and inquire as to the address. How can you tell that? The name, you see, is in perfect black ink, which has dried itself. The rest of it is greyish colour, which shows the blotting paper has been used. If it has been written straight off and then blotted, none would be of a deep black shade. This man has written the name, and there has been a pause before he wrote the address, which could only mean that he was not familiar with it. It is of course a trifle, but there is nothing so important as trifles. Let us now see the letter. There has been an enclosure here. Shall I keep going?
No, I think
Before I had enough of that. But it was perfect.
that was actually really good.
Small doses.
Oh god, I was actually going to...
Small.
No, but you know how you were talking about Dan Brown, and of course we all should have Matthew Riley for good reason. I mean, look, even Lord Baron really liked The Tournament by Matthew Riley, saying like it's like I don't know exactly what he said was good about it, so I'm not going to quote him on it.
My dad's reading all those.
But
he says they're good.
You must get something out of them.
there are some aspects. There are a
like-
lot of books that are like that, which are good to its value, but sometimes can be pretty shitty depending on the author, depending on how they take it. Like the Dexter series, for example, was the first book I think is fantastic. The second book I still think is quite good, and the third book it starts really drifting up into a very supernatural thing. But then I could never get through the third book because the writing for it, pretty much by this stage I realised what bad writing looks like, and I noticed that this book is just bad writing. And I just could not handle it.
The thing about bad writing, though, is, we assume right now that, like, what I was saying before, how, you can tell something's well written based on, like, what words you're using. Maybe that's just because that's how, like, all the critics, how all the critics rate novels these days, and that's how, inadvertently, that's how we rate them as well. Whereas maybe there is something to be gotten out of just good plot, which is what's normally associated with, like...
I was going to ask that, sorry.
Because, like, sometimes books with good plot can actually be good, but maybe we've just been conditioned to treat them as bad because they don't have good
yeah, a lot of the
writing.
good books these days, like, we can't have good books because the audiences are so dumb and generic, and you need the whole entire plot of the story given away in the first chapter. Like I said, I have a relative who's a writer, and they have American friends who, when they read the book, they're like, why don't I know the whole entire story in its first chapter? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah,
And it's like, because that's not how you write a good book. You don't write a good book with everything in the first chapter. It's just so...
So you were sort of saying earlier, I could be wrong, but you were saying that what makes a good book is that there's good language choices and all this stuff. Where does plot rate in there?
Plot has to be it has to be good, consistent. It could be a generic plot for all you care. Sometimes I don't really care what the plot's like. It could be the most generic piece of shit to exist because but it may have been the start of that generic piece of shit. I mean, like say for example, Evil Dead 2. I love the film, but it's a generic cliche cabin in the woods film. But that's the thing, because it started that genre of cabin in the woods. It made it famous. But like the plot, the plot is as good as the plot can be. Like if the writing's good around the plot, and that's both my ringtone and the alarm.
Wait, so which one? Did you get a call?
No, it's the alarms. Pretty much, I think plots have to be good, of course. Stories have to be good. But it's really, I'm not going to say every aspect has to be good for a book, but I think at the same time, every aspect has to be good for a book. I mean, look, some of the Sherlock Holmes short stories may be pretty generic stuff, but they have good writing, they have good character.
So for you, a well-written book with a blandish or average plot is better than a really good plot, but that is like poorly executed.
Yeah, definitely. Even if the plot is fantastic, usually I can't handle it if it's really poorly written. It's like watching a film. Like the story of the film could be really that good, but then the way that they've executed it, it's a piece of shit. The acting could be shit. The directing could be shit. You know, there's always some aspect to it that has to be good to make the product good. Because if it isn't, then you know. But again, it's all personal opinions.
I just want to mention on a sort of final note that I think there's a dichotomy between like a good plot and good characters almost, because I reckon that a lot of books with good plot tend to have like, you know, sort of the characters aren't as well developed as books that just focus on character alone.
Yeah.
And then but then those books, a lot of them tend to have like books like, you know, the plot's less developed and not much of a focus, you know?
Yeah, like the Manual of Children. It's a book dedicated to character. Same with The Family. It's a play dedicated to character, not dedicated to plot.
And it's the same with Kate Kennedy. It's a book dedicated to character.
To character and not plot. I mean, the stories are generic.
And it's the same with Philip Galway.
But but that's the thing. The stories may be generic, but the characters are fantastic. It's well written, well executed, all kinds of stuff like that. It's that kind of thing.
So good writing can save a subpar plot.
Yes. I mean, even like you look at the Harry Potter books, and this is one of the things which I find about fantastic with the characters is that usually in these big things, the main character, I usually hate it in a book when the main character is some kind of fantastical person. Like Sherlock Holmes has its differences because it only has really Sherlock and Watson, you know. It does have other characters, but they're the lead two. So it has the juxtaposition between the two, which is fantastic. But there, in a book like, which I found fantastic, but with the Harry Potter series, Harry is a pretty boring guy because he's a very average dude, and that's what's so good about it. Because
but he was the chosen one.
Because he doesn't need to be a fantastic person. Like he's pretty much he has the eyes of the reader pretty much.
He's the protagonist. He will survive.
Yeah, everything around him is going to be fantastic. The villains are going to be fantastic. The side characters are going to be fantastic. You know, it's sometimes with character you can get away with that. Like your protagonist is boring as shit, but everyone else is fantastic. You know, Rex? Furball?
Consist.
You're good.
Okay.
Cancel.
Just off camera.
Why aren't you filming this?
I don't know, it's a dog.
Because
Don't you have enough dog?
you can't rotate the camera.
You can actually rotate the camera, I just don't want to.
Not quickly.
I will at the end of the episode. So we should probably actually wrap this up now.
Yeah, we should.
Unless anyone have any final notes apart from your final note you just had.
Not really.
No, anything else?
I had nothing. So.
Other than just read some Lord of the Rings, you know.
Read books. It's good for you. It's good for your imagination. It's really overall great. Read. Just read. Or watch. Listen to audiobooks. So many different platforms for one thing.
I know, you can just listen to the book. I mean, that's probably just as good.
Yes. Alright, well, thank you all so much for watching. This has been another episode of The Mindless Show. This has been Literature with Schmidlab and Number 1.
Sponsored by Audible.
Sponsored by Audible.com. I have been your host, McWizWam Dinkle, and we are going to end this episode looking at Rexy because he's such a beautiful dog.
We get paid now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, listen to audiobooks. All the big YouTubers do it. They say it's good, so it must be good. Yeah.
See? It's Rexy.
Look at this.
Why would you not want to look at this dog?
I'm only looking at the back of him, but like, Rex!
Nah.
Rexy!
No, it looks good. It looks.
He's comfortable.
Not from that.
From this angle, it looks good.
Yeah,
He's very comfortable. Let's just leave it with that.
Oh wait, I gotta. It's
Yeah.
Kai, spelled differently.
Is your dog like you, just a nihilist?
I'm not that much of a nihilist. I'm just an average nihilist. Nihilism. Get your daily dosage of nihilism today.
What is this?
Alright.
Oh shit! Whoa. When Kai
Ciao.
sends you a paragraph.
Is that about the...
Say goodbye.
Bye.